The Book of Good Counsels, from the Sanskrit Hitopadesha, by Sir Edwin Arnold. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Recording by Jyoti Taravanat. Notes 1. Honor to Ganesh. Ganesh or Ganapati is the god of prudence, whom the Hindus invoke at the outset of all under the guardian of the household. 2. A city named Pataliputra, now Patna, near the confluence of Soane and Ganges. 3. The sacred writings. The Vedas, or Holy Book of India. They are 4 in number and are called the Rig Veda, Yajurveda, Samaveda and Atharva Veda. Hymns and metrical addresses to the elemental god occupy them mainly. 4. Childless art thou, less thy misery than his is, who is father to a fool. The force of this comparison is only perceived by recollecting the extreme anxiety of the Hindu to obtain and leave behind him male offspring. The Sanskrit word putra, son, is declared to be a contraction from pulitra, which means a delivery from hell, pul, and the simple performance of the funeral, shraddha, a libation by a son, is held sufficient to procure repose for the spirit of his departed father. The Hindu proverb says, "Whoso begetteth a son, planteth a tree, and diggeth a well, that man shall rest in heaven." 5. Sesame, the tilla seed which, together with the coconut nut, supplied Hindustan with oil. 6. Pandits, learned men. 7. The angel of the planet Jupiter. Brihaspati, the instructor of the gods. Like the rest of the Hindu divinities, he casts no shadow in moving. His eternally watchful eyes never even wink with fatigue, and the crown of flowers on his head blossoms in perpetual beauty and freshness. 8. The silk cotton tree, Sanskrit Shalimali. 9. His radiance, the moon. The moon, Chandra, is a masculine deity in Hindu mythology. The white lotus opens its blossoms at night only, hence his descriptive epithet. 10. A crow. The Indian crow is everywhere seen and heard in India. Its plumage is black, with a dull grey hood extending over the head and neck. 11. God of Death. Yama, called here Kritana, or the end bringer. He is god of justice as well as of death, and sits in judgment upon disembodied souls in his infernal city of Yamapura. Thence he dismisses them upwards to Swarga, downwards to Naraka, or back again to earth in the form of some animal. 12. Bangle, the bracelet in one solid piece of gold, silver, brass, glass or earthenware, worn by all Indian women. 13. An old tiger. It is true to nature that an old tiger should be the villain of this episode and devour the traveller, for it is generally when the tiger has lost his teeth and claws by age, and with them his powers of securing antelopes, cattle, etc., that he becomes a professed man-stealer. The popular notion was that the hide of a man-killer became worn and mangy as a punishment for attacking man, his lord. But it is not until his hide thus assumes the aspect of old age that he has recourse to such easy but illicit food. 14. Kusa grass, used in many religious observations by the Hindus. 15. Cows, Brahmans and men. The tiger justifies his self-condemnation by confessing to one of the greatest moral guilts possible, the slaughter of cows, a sin all but inexpiable. 16. Son of Kunti. Kunti was wife of Pandu and mother of the Pandava princes of the Mahabharata. 17. Neither give, etc. Here and elsewhere the intelligent reader will remark a curious similarity between these ancient Hindu proverbs and those of Solomon. 18. Vanish in the dragon's jaw. Rahu, an evil spirit with the tail of a dragon, was held to be the cause of eclipses by swallowing occasionally the moon and sun. The legend had this origin. At the time when the gods were drinking the nectar churned from the ocean by the direction of Vishnu, Rahu insinuated himself among them and began to drink. The sun and moon, as guardians for the gods, observed the intrusion and revealed it. Vishnu at once cut off the head of the venturous devil, and as the Amrit drink had rendered him immortal, the head and tail retained their separate life and were placed in the stellar sky. Rahu, therefore, still mindful of the injury done him by the sun's interference, loses no opportunity of enclosing his ancient enemy in his jaws. 19. Can a golden deer, etc. An allusion to an episode in the great poem of the Ramayana. Manisha takes the form of a golden river, in pursuing which Rama is led away insensibly from his abode, and Ravana comes as a beggar and carries off Sita in his absence. 20. The three wide worlds: heaven, earth, and the lower regions. 21. The king of the mice. The mouse, as vehicle of Ganesha, is an important animal in Hindu legend. 22. Sickness, anguish, bends, and woe spring from wrongs wrought long ago. By this theory of a series of existences continued until the balance is just and the soul has purified itself, the Hindu accounts for the origin of evil. Every fault must have its expiation, and every higher faculty its development, pain and misery being signs of and ordeals in the trial, which is to end in the happy reabsorption of the emancipated spirit. 23. Champak Grove. The champak is a bushy deciduous tree, bearing a profusion of white star-like blossoms with golden center and of the most pleasing perfume. 24. Fig tree, Sanskrit Pakti. A large handsome tree with leaves curiously weaved. 25. The moon penance, a religious observance inculcated by Manu. The devotee commences the penance at the full moon with an allowance of 15 mouthfuls for his food, diminishing this by 1 mouthful each day, till on the 15th it is reduced to 1. As the new moon then increases, his allowance also ascends to its original proportion. 26. Brahmacharya, a votary of the Vedas, a name technically applied to young Brahmins after the investiture with the sacred cord, and generally to Pandita and Vedic professors. 27. Agni is the twice-born's master. Agni, the deity of fire, under his manifestations of light, the sun, etc., occupies a large portion of the Vedic liturgy. The twice-born is the Brahman whose second birth is dated from investiture with the sacred thread. 28. Krishna, the god Vishnu under his most celebrated and popular form. He is represented as of a handsome and graceful person with the dark blue complexion which the name implies. 29. Unto Swarga, etc. Heaven, the paradise of Indra, and the happy abode of the souls of the just and of the gods. 30. And the castor oil's a tree where no tree else its shade affords. The castor plant, although not altogether a shrub, seldom assumes the proportions and dignity of a tree. It either grows thick as a bush, or shoots up to 12 or 16 feet like a sapling. 31. Oil of sandalwood, an extract from the well-known fragrant tree of India. 32. The prince of all the serpents, Vasuki or Ananta, the chief of the human-headed serpents, who people Patala or the regions under the earth. 33. Hari's name and Haras. The first is the god Vishnu, the second Shiva. 34. And to taste the salt of service. Italian scholars will recall the sorrowful lines of Dante, so nearly resembling these. Tu provirai sicom sa di sale lopane altrui icamodura caso lo sendire il salir per le lutri scale. Dante, Paradiso, Cant 17. 35. Breathe he like a blacksmith's bellows. This implement in India is a sewn goat skin, inflated with one hand and noisily emptied by the other. 36. The last Thanda, alluding to the pralaya or termination of one of the kalpas of the world's existence. 37. Resolved into the 5 elements, the 5 constituent ingredients of the body, a common periphrasis for death in Sanskrit writings. 38. Lakshmi, the wife of Vishnu, goddess of beauty and abundance. She sprang like Aphrodite from the sea when the gods churned it with the mountain Mandara to obtain the Amrit or nectar. 39. New corn. The Hindus are as fond as the English learn to become of the green ear of the jawari stalk, parched and eaten hot with butter and pepper. A deer named dappleback. Antelopes are common in all parts of India. The true deer, such as the sambar, is found in the forest only. 41. The koil, the black or Indian cuckoo. 42. The god of the 5 shafts, Kama, the Indian Cupid. His bow is made of flowers. The string is a row of bees, and he wounds with 5 arrows, typifying the 5 senses. He is known also as Manmata, the heart shaker, Manasija, the heart begotten, and Angana, the bodiless. The second title refers to his reputed origin from the heart of Brahma, though the god is also represented as the son of Lakshmi and Vishnu. He is called the bodiless from a misadventure with Shiva, whom he dared to aim at, but the indignant deity reduced the anchor to cinders with one glance of his central eye. He is painted as a handsome boy riding on a parrot and surrounded by maidens who bear his banner with the fish Makara. 43. The forest of Brahma.